Sometime in the 2020s, two geeks from across social media formed an alliance to bring you geek news from across the Nostalgiaverse. They are Jacob's Toys and SuperSorrell. So strap yourselves in for the weekly live show that brings you toy news, TV and movie reviews, special guests, opinions, tangents, and bad impressions. Reveals, releases, thoughts, and maybe dreams. So prepare yourselves for the Geek Week in Review. Live.
Oh, hello. Where is my camera gone? Look, I'm just an avatar.
Oh,
there I am.
there you go.
Hey, how we doing? Welcome, everybody. Geek Week in Review, episode 134 with me, Jacob's Toys, and of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell. I've got it now. 134 weeks down, and I know which way to point. It's all good. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're one of the regular viewers, then hello, welcome back. We appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, then hello, welcome. We appreciate you. Do check out the link in the descriptions of the videos. We go out across a number of different places, so you might not see all the comments popping up where it is that you're watching or where it is that you're listening, but we'll try our best to get to everybody in the chat. Couple of little shout outs at immediately. Shelley, how we doing? Annie Roberts, full of figures, Gap After Dark. It's all good. Right, so episode 134. We got another special guest, Sorrell, haven't we?
We do.
Do you want to introduce?
Yeah, we've got a long-time friend of the channel. It's Brian, Action Figures Reviews.
There we go. Look at that. There we go. How you doing, Brian?
How are we?
Good. It's good to see you, man. It's good to speak to you. How's everything your end?
Not too bad. No, just getting over Christmas, like still.
Yeah. Did you pick anything up for Christmas? Did you get anything special for Christmas?
I did. I actually still getting through my backlog in reviews of stuff I got over Christmas. There's a nice few bits. All right, I'll show you there in a while.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. We were talking the other week about how like some collectors get loads for Christmas and some don't get any at all. Like I'm one of them collectors that I hardly get anything for my collection at Christmas because I'm like, no, don't buy it. I'll make sure I get the right one. Just because I want a Spider-Man. It's not that Spider-Man that you've seen in the Entertainer. Like it's a different one than that. So leave it with me. But yeah, there's been lots going on this week. Quite a bit going on this week. So we're going to do our best to obviously go through it all. What do you want to start with, Sorrell? There's loads.
So did you pick up anything new this week, Jacob?
I'm
asking a loaded question because I know I've got a boatload of stuff on my desk right now to share.
No, I'll tell you what, I got three deliveries, I think, which was two new He-Man figures to go with the collection, which was Teela, massively fleshing out this what is it called, the Revelation kind of display. I've kind of gone for that line as opposed to the Origins one because I wanted to kind of evolve from the little kind of 5 points of articulation figures, and I got Man at Arms as well, which is really cool. So that fleshes out that. But the really cool thing that I got that I was quite happy about, and it's not unique. Lots of people have got him, but yeah, Dr. Octopus. But not a lot of people have. Some people are still kind of waiting on him. Some people are still kind of struggling to pick him up, which is a shame because my understanding is that Hasbro's allocation is a bit iffy at the moment. Out to our
their allocation's always iffy. It's never been right. It's always iffy.
In particular with this one. Yeah, it's just there's something about it that they're kind of drip feeding it through to our retailers and stuff. But he's a really awesome figure. So just really quickly, bendy tentacles, and they're solid bendy as well. Like you can see like how much I'm having to push it there. So you kind of, when you get him into a pose, and he comes with three different versions of his. Now I call them the heads, but some people call them the hands. But I call them the heads because of like this little one, because he like talks to him, doesn't he? So you get the kind of grippy ones, which are in, just static as they are. You get the little head ones which articulate and you can kind of open them up. Oh no, I just broke it. But the little things come off of them and that's it. But then the really exciting ones, were these two static ones that go on the floor as like a base plate. We haven't had that with a Doc Ock figure before. So actually having it so that we've got these two that kind of create a base and spread the weight a little bit is very cool. So,
have they given us 2 arms that can actually hold him up?
yes. So they hold.
Nice.
So that's the thing, because they're solid enough, you can get them
Hold
into
them
a pose where it holds up. You have to mess around with the balance and everything like that. But yeah, it's a really, really, really nice figure. Just jumping into the comments very quickly. Shelley said there, I'm still waiting on my Doc Ock from CNC. Comics and Cocktails, for those that don't know what CNC stands for, really, really awesome retailer. Shelley, hold strong. Mine actually came from Comics and Cocktails, but that's because I was one of the ones that I guarantee I put it in the second it dropped. So I promise you I was probably one of those first people in. But they are really fair with their distribution, so hold it in. You will definitely get him, and I think he's definitely one that's worth waiting for. Did you pick him up, Brian?
I did, yeah. I got him just before Christmas as well.
Yeah.
And I got him from Big Bang Comics here in Ireland. And yeah, he's an absolute fantastic figure. I love the base plates, as you call them.
Yeah.
They've been needed for so long with a Doc Ock figure, like.
Yeah. It just seems like such a simple piece of kind of engineering for a Dr. Octopus figure, but we just haven't had it, have we? But then again, we haven't had the bendy tentacles, have we? So we haven't necessarily had the ability to stand one up. But for me, with my display, I've kind of gone for a bit of an MCU Sony Sinister Six kind of setup. So I've got all the Spider-Man, and then I've got all the I've got Mysterio, Venom, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fleshing out. So I was really, really excited when I saw these bits, because he was the one figure I wasn't sure how I was going to put him into it. But now I know. It's using these two
towering over everyone else.
So yeah, it's all good. But that was pretty much it. I just have to. There you go. That's a little bit. But they're only like, I didn't break it as such. But I'll just pop one off to show you, because obviously it's iconic in the movie where he like talks to these kind of head pieces, and they kind of make the kind of the pointed dinosaur looking things. And then what you can do is you can kind of open them up so that if you don't want them in that point, keep pulling it off now. Look, I pulled 2 of them off now. But if you, right, they're quite flimsy, right? I'll say that much. But you can have them kind of opened up. It's really cool. So that was about it for me this week. I've got some exciting stuff to talk about later, but I'll get to that a little bit later, because it kind of tips into our community stuff as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what about you?
So you know the other week when I was really excited because I pulled that stupid rare Lola Bunny out of that blind bag, and we were saying like I either need to get the blue Bugs Bunny or get both of them again in like regular.
You got 15 Lolas.
No, so I got the blue Lola, and I'm very happy to report I managed to find the Bugs Bunny in blue too.
Amazing, good stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, I know, stupidly happy. And again, I got that the other week, the little Kirby from Smith's.
Yep.
I went today again because I'm a massive nerd, and I found the Link one. Yay!
The Link one, that's pretty cool.
That's how I'm a happy boy.
Cool.
But onto the real toy news. They had the new merch is starting to drop bit by bit for the new Ghostbusters film. They were clearing a massive space in my Smiths, which I can only presume is going to be for Ghostbusters, because they had this guy on the shelf. He wasn't with the rest of the Gujitsus. He was on this like little aisle, so I can presume that's going to be Ghostbusters. And he's brand new. Little
cool.
Gujitsu.
That's really
That's
nice.
cool. What is when you squeeze him? What is it that you can see inside?
You can see inside him.
Yeah, with Gujitsus, like with. Or is
Nothing.
he just a squidgy one?
He's just a squidgy.
No, fair play. It's just because with some of the Gujitsu, my son's a massive Gujitsu fan, and with some of them, like you squeeze it.
Oh, crap.
So, like the Flash one, for example, when you squeeze it, you see like little thunderbolts, and the Thor has got thunderbolts.
Oh, that's cool.
Batman has like bats and stuff like that. So some of them have like a clear goo. Have you seen the ones where you pop the ball inside? And
Yeah. I've seen them ones. They're weird.
Mission, yeah. That was a mission, but still.
But I couldn't. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say we'll get on to Ghostbuster merch in a minute, because that's a big one.
I couldn't pass up all the smashy kaiju fun. So King Kong, new guy, Scar King.
Oh, King.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Godzilla.
Ah, nice.
I got the whole wave, by the way. Suko, and there's like tiny evil Kong and tiny Godzilla, which is quite cool. They're called
Okay.
Suko and Titness Dog.
Dog.
That is a bit of a spoiler. Oh, it is.
I didn't
That's
see
a
nothing.
little bit of a spoiler. Oh, what
Shimo?
is that?
See, he's a new one, I think. I've never heard of Shimo before from Toho or anything. He's got a frost blast apparently, and he's like one of the new bad guys.
So he's basically the Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
And then, of course, the one that drove the internet mental, Pink Godzilla.
You know what? There is a massive puzzle to put together there, right? So we haven't seen a baby Godzilla in the trailer. We've seen the little monkey. We haven't seen the little Godzilla.
I think that's just showing you where they come from, isn't it? Like they
No,
start
because
that big and then grow to be giant kaijus.
Yeah, but we see the way that the trailer's cut together.
Yeah, they haven't shown the little Godzilla yet, have they?
No, and as if the baby Kong is kind of in the same time.
Well, he's called Suko, so he's not Scar King because then again, the Scar King's just an alt alias. I don't know.
Yeah,
Unless
but
that
what
is the
if
same
it
one.
is? What if they've gone really, really basic and Pink Godzilla is a girl, Blue Godzilla is a boy, and they make the baby Godzilla? That is what it is.
Very easy.
One thing with this Godzilla, it does say evolved Godzilla. Godzilla has evolved into an all-new form, now faster, stronger, and more powerful. Godzilla thunders into battle with a supercharged heat ray and city-destroying tail swipe.
Nice.
And the Shimo is Frost Blast, so Godzilla has got heat ray. I'm guessing they must fight in the film, and he's heat over ice, isn't it?
Yeah,
in a
I'm
mountain.
excited for it.
So that's
I'm
kind of
excited for it.
a bunch of bit of spoilers there.
If you're looking, Aldi, as in the supermarket, has all the previous Kong versus Godzilla figures in the same.
I don't need them. I own them all already from last time.
Okay. If there's anyone in the chat or in the comments that is looking for them, you can pick them up at Aldi. I think they're about £8.
You know me. It's the kids' toy range. It's the £10 range. They're the ones I stock up on massively. I love them.
Yeah.
2 films I picked up this week, by the way. The Jester's now out on Blu-ray, which is awesome.
Sweet. Still haven't
And
Very nice.
the new Exorcist is out on DVD now as well.
seen it. All right, cool.
But I have to tell you the story. So I went into Smith's today, and I massively went overboard. You know how we always say I can't resist a good blind bag because I'm an absolute child.
Yep.
Well, they were all on offer, weren't they? They were all marked down. They were all marked down to like £2 here and there.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
£80 later.
Wow. That is a
You'll be there
bag
for a while.
of-
That's what, I've got 3 months worth of content right here,
Yeah.
and there's all sorts in this bag. It's ridiculous. So yeah, they're all marked down. All the blind bag stuff for some reason has now been. They must be wiping this the floor ready for the next bunch. I don't know.
Did you just do a pretty woman and just kind of? Did you just do a pretty woman and kind of just go in there and go, "I will have that one"?
Well, we looked at they had them like Smashling pinatas, and my daughter loves them.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-pack with a mystery figure in the middle. They were originally like £10 ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all marked down to £2. So like, just clear the shelf.
Wow.
Then they had the little plush ones in a box. They were £1. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the whole tray.
That's some good going.
Four of the parents around me were like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just taking everything.
That is some serious good going. That really
Yeah,
is some good
and the
going.
little Stitch ones as well. They were all marked down to £2. They were about £6 when they first came out.
Wow.
So
There's
I've
a lot
got
of blind
plenty of
bags.
shorts content now.
Yeah, there's a lot of blind bags out there, which is
I
cool.
love them. I need to get a few more of the Warner Brothers ones from Primark.
Yeah.
Primark of all places. I love these little water coolers, and I need 2 more now. I need obviously now. The annoying thing is now I need the blue versions of Tweety Pie and Sylvester to go with Lola and Bugs. That's going to irritate me.
Wow.
Stupid completionist. Anyway,
That you, Brian? Brian, did you pick anything up this week?
I got a few games. I haven't gotten any figures yet this year, so I'd still break that duck. But I got the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection
ooh,
and
Nice.
Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which I'd been looking for ages. So yeah, little low on the figure things yet. So I still have plenty to go through though. So kept going for now.
I'm so behind on my computer games. I still haven't really played the Miles Morales game. I
Yeah.
got it for
Oh,
Christmas like
yes,
2 years ago. My boys played it, completed it, and every time I pick it up, I'm like, no, I need to get into it because I need some serious time to kind of go for it. And I think because I got PS4 instead of PS5, I was one of them ones that kind of like got a new PS4 like a year before the PS5. So I was like, oh, I'm not buying a PS5. But now the Spider-Man 2 game's out, I'm kind of like, oh. But until I complete Miles Morales, I'm not buying a PS5. I'm just like, nope, I'm just not letting myself do it. But the annoying thing is all the spoilers online and stuff. Like, you know, I know how the game ends. I know who's in it. I know all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's annoying, really, because I'm kind of like, it doesn't take away from the gameplay, but it kind of takes away from the story development element of it. You're kind of just working your way through it, which is frustrating. But
you get to a certain part and you're like, oh yeah, there's that part I've heard about. It's not like, oh my god,
exactly.
this guy's in it.
No, exactly. So what other toy news we had this week? What else have we had going on, Mr. Sorrell?
So not a massive amount, to be honest. It's been a very dry, quiet week. Let me just pull over here. Literally hot off the press. As today the new Tekken trailer came out.
Yes.
So instantly, SH Figure Arts dropped their little teaser. Let me pull this up. Boop. SH Figure Arts dropped their teaser instantly saying pre-orders will open on February 1st, and they've already shown off SH Figure Arts Jin Kazama and Kazuya Mishima. I have no idea. I didn't realize Jin had a brother. I guess that's Jin's brother.
That's his son.
Oh, his son. Oh my god, I'm well out.
The daddy, yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
It's been a long time since I played. I used to play Tekken Tag I think which was when I last played a long time ago. And
serious daddy issues.
PS2 era.
Yeah. Brian, Gap After Dark saying, hello, Brian Action Figures.
Hello, Gap. How are you, my friend?
That's it. Yeah, no, that's some serious daddy. I haven't played Tekken since like blocky days, like since it was like a blocky game.
Since you could like own somebody as Howrang and just mash the buttons together and make a combo.
Yeah.
You needed
we went around our friends just before dinner, before Christmas. We went around there, and their son has got a PS5, had a new Street Fighter game, and just owned everyone on it. Like, just was the best at it. Just absolutely owned everyone. And I was very tentatively kind of just sat there and just like, oh yeah, this is really good. I was letting my boys play, and like we were all just. And I'm like, oh Jake, do you want to have a go? I was like, oh no, let the children play. That's fine. Like, no, he's not been beaten yet. I was like, oh okay, fair enough. I took it over, and then all of a sudden it was like, I was like, right, boo, 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 Ryu, like just literally in seconds, ended it, put it down. I was like, oh, I'll play this again maybe, and they were like, whoa, your old school game. I was like, yeah, I've played a bit of Street Fighter. Like, I'll go back to the days where you would like put your coins in the machine, and you had to make it last. Like, you know, you had to, if you put coins in the machine, you had to get a good fight out of it. So, yeah, and he was not very happy. I used to in the chat said Street Fighter still effing kills it. Love it. It was actually really good. I was actually really impressed by it. I was annoyed I couldn't be Blanca though. That was the only thing that annoyed me because he hadn't unlocked him yet.
Cammy all the way.
He wasn't
Cammy.
You know what my favorite fighting game was though, and it wasn't really a beat 'em up as such, but Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
Streets of Rage every time, and Streets of Rage 2 just took it to the next level. Like, it was like, and what cracks me up as well is how, as kids as well, I can't remember the name of the girl in it.
Blaze. That was it.
Was it Blaze? Yeah, Blaze. And she would do that high kick, and she would like put her hand down, but everyone was convinced they saw her underwear because like you saw the red. It was like, no, if you actually look at it, it was her hand with her glove on it. But yeah, it just cracked me up. Absolutely cracked me up.
Yeah, because it's the same move that is it Chun-Li does, isn't it? Blaze kick. Yeah. Blaze kick. It's the same move. Yeah. The new, again, some more smashy kaiju fun. Tamashii Nations put out their pictures for the Godzilla vs. Kong New Empire, and they look pretty cool. Can't lie. That Godzilla with the axe over his shoulder, like, come on, man.
Yeah,
bring it on.
I need to get I need to get a good Godzilla figure.
The Monster Arts ones. I know they're expensive, but they are nice.
How big are they?
About 5.5 inches.
Oh, no, see,
because they have to scale with King Ghidorah, and King Ghidorah's like about 8.
Yeah, he's really big.
He's massive. I've been very lucky that I've had all mine sent, so I can't really. I've had all mine sent from Bandai, but I do honestly love them. I think they're great figures.
Yeah, they are fantastic looking figures. I just want a big one. Do you know what I mean? I want like a big, decent sized Godzilla figure.
Why don't you get the new? Why don't you get the new remote control one from Jada Toys?
Jada Toys?
Breathes. You put water in it. You put water in it, and he breathes. He breathes like mist and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, it looks cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. No, yeah, I need a good sized Godzilla figure. I think I'd even be happy with like the 2005 version or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my version of Godzilla that I've got from Smash Nations was the 2003 Godzilla. That's the one I got. Right. It's really nice. I like it.
Good.
They are a little bit small though, but they're nice. Next up was from McFarlane. They dropped the new Batman Adventures line. Again, these are all sort of like recreations of the ones we kind of all collected about 5 years ago at B&M. Yep. But yeah, they are back, which is kind of cool to see. But yeah, nothing overly new there, really, is it? It's not new territory, really.
Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't go for ones that we never got. You know what I mean? Like try and give us something new rather than figures we've already had years ago.
That Two-Face looks good though.
It does.
I suppose the aftermarket prices on them as well. They wanted to re-release them to new collectors and stuff.
Yeah, probably it.
The Two-Face looks really good. Stephen in the comments there as well said, "I want that Two-Face so much." Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like a really good Two-Face. But we did have a bit of a long episode last night with House of Geekery, and we just talked DC all night long. So if you haven't caught that episode, do go and check it out. The guy has a complete multiverse collection from day one, has every single one of them in boxes, and his collection even goes back to pre-McFarlane days.
Yeah, he's got everything.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just it was a really good chat. But we talked about the big price hike in McFarlane and what that might mean. And yeah, if you've not seen that episode already, anyone, go and check it out. That's where you're going to get your DC fix. Before we move on, I think there's a friend of yours, both in the chat.
Salacious Rum. Gotta love Salacious Rum. Gawk Meat. He still calls me Gawk Meat to this day.
Good stuff. It's good to have you in.
Sorry, it makes me look. He does crack me up. We've got a new Revelitech. He's put me off now. A new Revelitech Jesse coming out as well. I do like Revelitech. They are awesome figures. I just can't afford them in 1,000 years, but they're amazing.
The Toy Story line really works for their design
style. Well. Yeah, it really does.
Works really well.
The Beast Kingdom ones were good, but they're better. The Reveltechs. If I could afford a series of Reveltech ones, I would.
Yeah.
It annoyed me that Beast Kingdom, because they did some really good ones, and you can get them on Amazon now for like 20 quid a piece. They were really good. They just didn't complete the line. They just did Buzz and Woody, and that were it. They didn't give us any of the other characters.
Yeah. It's a line that I've kind of played with. I'm kind of like, do I need it? Do I want it? Like, it's Toy Story at the end of the day. It kind of makes sense, but yeah, I've just not. I've still got the original ones.
What's next? So, I have to. So, Strawberry Shortcake.
What?
Boss Fight Studios obviously started making this. Very American is this? But Boss Fight Studios made these Strawberry Shortcake characters, and these are the villains from it. Basically, they're not very well known in England. They're like little like dolls in like with like one's a strawberry, one's a raspberry, one's a. You know what I mean, it's like a bit like a Cabbage Patch Lion kind of thing. I think in America.
Isn't the cartoon on Netflix?
Yeah, the cartoon's now on Netflix. Yeah. So it is kind of coming over it, but it's mainly an American kind of cartoon that we're just a bit aware of it.
Thing is, they are nice looking figures, though.
I do like the chef guy. I think he looks pretty cool.
We got to get one of those and send it over to Simon, I think. Yeah.
But the coolest announcement was that these bad boys are finally coming out by NECA, which are the Ben Cooper costume figures.
Oh, they're really cool.
Yeah,
I think these look awesome. And this is on Props and Replicas. I'm not sure but they just have it listed as Wave 1. So I'm not sure if there's going to be another assortment later down the line, because technically there is some more that they haven't done yet. There is the Dracula one. There's the Bride of Frankenstein that's not there. There is a few more of the Ben Coopers, the Witch. So I think there might be a wave too.
Like the Witch, the Frankenstein, the Witch, the Dracula, like they're iconic looking ones as well.
Yeah, and the Werewolf one, the Werewolf they haven't done.
Yeah, like, I remember these masks as a kid, and the ones that everyone had were the devil or the red one, whatever it is you want to call it, the Frankenstein looking one, the vampire, and the witch. They were the four. And then
seen that everywhere.
The mummy as well was one as well. But yeah, they're very. I don't know. Like I want them, and I'm not sure why.
They're kind of novelty, like.
They're what? Sorry.
They're kind of a novelty, like to have.
Oh, massively! Yeah. They're like they're one of them ones. I don't know. There's just something really nostalgic about them. Well, it's the masks, obviously, but they're very cool. And do we know if these masks are like removable? And
they haven't said. Each of them come with either pumpkin pails or trick or treat bags, though, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they haven't. You can't really tell whether they would come off. A lot of the new NECA figures, the front of the face has come off now. Instead of pulling off the whole head, they started doing this where like the front of the face comes off now.
Kind of like the figure art stuff.
Yeah, like the John Carver figure, his hat isn't removable, and you can just pull the front of the face off to put the different faces on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure if these might be the same, but there's no indication of that at all, because they've got the little strings around the head part. If you look, you can see that, but they've got like the fake elastic going around the head as well.
Yeah,
so it would be kind of hard to do a removal. You can see his eyes behind the mask.
Zoom in a bit more. Those eyes have seen stuff. Zoom in a bit more. Like that, they have trick or treated in a house that, they definitely got a treat at the last house. Like this.
Come on in, little boss.
Don't we're gonna start South Park impression. Family Guy.
Come back, I got something nice for you. Oh no, stop it! Right. And the last one was the monster. I'm trying to pull it back. The Monster Arts released Mothra.
Before we bring it up though, like on those Halloween ones, like if they had made the masks removable,
would have shown
us. Think that they would have shown us, because there would have been sculpting going into the faces of the kids underneath. And
what faces would they have done underneath? That's the weird part. Like, who are they going to base them on? So I think that's probably why they just left it as is. Why would you want to take them off?
They didn't know. I'm surprised that they didn't, because if they had, then it would have ticked 2 extra boxes. So that people would have picked them up as kind of just general fodder, because
so you can put them on other figures.
Yeah, the action figure photography, having like children flesh out. You look at the majority of like not some of the higher end action figure photography, but a lot of them will have civilians, but there's not children in these scenes, because you can't pick up that many children kind of sized figures, not easily anyway. So it would have ticked the box for a lot of people there. But if you could remove the masks as well, you'll get people picking them up to like put them on Deadpool and put them on, like even just picking up a wave to do some like Halloween posts around October and stuff. So I'm surprised that they didn't, but you know.
1950s and 80s, standing approximately 6 inches. So the 6-inch scale, standing approximately 6 inches tall, these fully posable figures wonderfully capture the vintage horror spirit and are ready to make some spooky mischief on your collection shelf. Series 1 includes, it's Series 1, includes Creature, Devil, Frankenstein, Mummy, and Skeleton. Classic Ben Cooper costumes worn by an inclusive group of kids wearing a mask styled after an original Ben Cooper design, and soft goods clothing replicating the vinyl look of the classic costume. Each playful figure comes complete with a trick-or-treat bag or pumpkin bucket accessory. Every figure is sold separately and packaged in a numbered retro style window box that pays homage to the original costume packaging. Ooh! So we're getting them as a bundle though from Props and Replicas. They're selling them as a set, but they are actually going to be available individually then at some retailers. That's interesting to know.
That's kind of what they did with the Mogwais as well, the NECA Gremlin stuff.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I was hoping it was going to say whether those masks were removable or not, but it doesn't say anything about it.
No. Fuller's Figures in the chat said, poor kid walked in on Mummy and Daddy this morning.
Oh dear.
They're like, get out, go trick or treat, go.
Jesus. Daddy, no. So yeah, Mothra. There you go.
back to kaijus. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Mothra, but there it is. If you want it, you can get it.
I was never a big fan of Mothra. I always felt a little bit cheaty. And any like hardcore kind of Godzilla fans are going to obviously disagree with me on this, but I always just thought Mothra was a bit rubbish in comparison to the others. You got like 3-headed dragons, you got giant lizards, you got a massive gorilla, you've got a big moth. Like it's kind of like out of all of the bugs, it's one of the least scariest bugs. Like it's a big moth. Like just turn the light on, flash a torch or something, turn the lighthouse on, and it will be attracted over there. So
Godzilla just starts breathing fire and it just floats towards it.
yeah,
I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
so yeah, Mothra was never one for me. Never one that really did it for me.
So that's it for the toy news. That was basically it for this week. Entertainment news. We've got a few things though.
Yeah, let's do entertainment.
You want me to jump straight in?
Yeah, let's go straight into it.
Cool. So first one. Boop, boop. Didn't have it ready. Why didn't I have it ready? Because I'm stupid. Empire Magazine gave us this lovely picture for the new Ghostbusters, which shows Janine in costume.
Yeah. Now, do you think that this is a just a like a promotional picture? Because obviously we're getting all 3 of the original ones in costume and Janine in costume, and that Janine face to me looks a little bit photoshopped.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping these are stills from the film.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know whether this is just more of a mock-up to kind of get people interested.
It would be cool though to see her come back, because obviously after the last she was only in it for all of 2 seconds. It would be cool to see her come back properly.
Yeah, but she doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. She hasn't got a pack on. She's like, so yeah, I don't know.
What's been floating around the internet as well is in America they've started putting the lenticular posters up at the cinemas and stuff, and one of them shows Slimer. So Slimer is confirmed as being in this movie.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So I'm wondering whether he's going to be a bit like Extreme Ghostbusters, or whether he's going to be like just hanging around the firehouse kind of thing, a bit like what they did in the cartoon. He's kind of like their ghost pet now kind of thing.
That would be fun. That would be fun. It was one of the things that I always felt a little bit. We discussed this before, didn't we? But I always felt a little bit cheated with the movie to the cartoon and stuff, because Slimer was their kind of mascot, but in the film he was just another one of the random ghosts, and I always felt like he was better suited as that kind of comic relief in the firehouse. So it'd be really, I think if they did that, it would tap into a lot of the nostalgic vibes from a lot of like our childhoods and stuff.
100%. The next piece of entertainment news was the R.L. Stine and Netflix have confirmed collaboration on another Fear Street project. This time, it's going to be the Prom Queen. So this old book's coming back, and it's going to be another Netflix movie.
Cool.
So, look forward to that.
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It was what?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot better than I actually thought it was going to be, that Fear Street film. So
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. What did you make of the Goosebumps on Disney Plus?
Naff.
Nah.
Did you? You think it was naff?
Very naff.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The main geezer in it, like the main football guy, like lives round the corner from me.
All right.
He's British, like he's English. I didn't know. It was only because one of the pubs local to us like posted a picture of him with one of the barmen or something, and it was like, oh, can't remember his name, but like so and so was in for Christmas dinner, and I was like, oh, and I said to my wife, and she was like, oh, it's that guy from Goosebumps. I was like, whoa, what? But I quite enjoyed it. I didn't mind it. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I quite liked it. So I think I'm on my own now. Over that conversation, are we?
Well, this one, I'm hoping you'll both will get excited about. Did anybody sit down this weekend and give the Gladiators a watch?
100%. 100%. Absolutely loved it.
I actually loved it. I thought it was just classic cheese, wasn't it?
Absolutely loved it. it was full cringe. Shall I tell you what we did? Right, it was Saturday night dinner. Got the kids. Like we all sat down and we just kind of we put the phones down for an hour. Like made sure that my older two's phones were down, and we just had dinner and we watched Gladiators. And by the end of it, we were all like invested. And I was like, they haven't changed it. They're using the same music. They're using the same, like, everything about it was just like straight out of the 90s, was it?
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah.
It was the 90s, but it looked like it was from the 80s. Those perms and stuff were very 80s, weren't they?
Favorite Gladiator?
Oh, God, you're gonna ask, I don't know the names. Oh, come on, you all know which one I'm going to say. The blonde one.
Oh, mine wasn't a girl.
The blonde one that the one that wants to be lightning. Clearly, she was the one on the top left. Yeah.
So I'll tell you who my favorite one was. Viper, the bad guy, the new wolf.
Oh yeah. See, there was that other guy as well that was trying to be like the next bad guy as well, wasn't he? That he was like Legend. What do you call Legend?
Yeah.
And he kept doing the
microphone, shouting stuff into it and stuff.
Yeah, he kept doing like he was trying. For me, it reminded me like old school Randy Orton. He kept doing the like that kind of like what Randy Orton used to do.
It was. The funny thing was, I said my kids were never really. They've not been wrestling fans. Like wrestling kind of missed them. But I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid, and Gladiators to me was always, they're playing heels, they're playing good guys, all the rest of that.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I just said to him before, I went like, just bear with it because these guys are playing characters, so they will come out and they'll be overly good or overly bad or anything like that. And 20 minutes into it, they were like fully invested and like getting behind it. And then every time Viper came out, we're like, oh, he's going to do so. He's going to cheat. He's going to cheat. It's brilliant. Bethany Beth has said in the comments, she went, oh my God, I missed it. And is it on again next weekend coming? It's on every Saturday.
Yeah, it's like the old school setup as well, isn't it? They're doing the quarterfinals and everything, so it's like the old school version, which is great. I love it.
They are literally building up to the big kind of final and everything. It's exactly the same. 2 contenders, 2 male, 2 female, going at it. The winner goes through to the quarterfinals. So it's just awesome.
They had it in for that guy though, didn't they? That guy in the blue. They had it in for him. They just kept taking him out, didn't they?
Right. If you ever go on Gladiators, keep like your ego in check. Like just go, do your best. Right? Don't try to be better than the Gladiators because they will make you look like they'll ruin you. But
I have to wonder because it was the first episode. They needed to like set the scene for the whole series to make people watch it again. For me, it was like I think he was a plant personally. I think he was a work. I think most of that was scripted. Come on. Yeah, the way they did the whole like very quickly they got back up like you'll go again, but that gladiator has been kicked off. No, get to the back, and then they start again, and then the other guy gets him and disqualifies him, and it was very much like. And then it's the whole, I've injured my knee, but I'm sure I'll be back, guys. And then he's back at the final minute limping. It was very much like WWE writing. It was very like set up.
And the guy that whatever his name was that hurt his leg, like, and had a massive like setback, ended up winning it, and it was just kind of like, come on.
The underdog.
I tell you what, we were cheering and we were rooting for the other guy, and we were just like, no, we don't want him. But yeah, it was just a good show. Like everything about it was good, and I think it will do well because I think that you'll have all of the parents doing like the nostalgic trip and putting it on their kids. And I don't think kids nowadays will kind of look up to the Gladiators as much as like kids did back in the day. But I think that everyone's going to enjoy it. I haven't spoke to anyone that kind of hated it.
Yeah.
It was a proper, if it's not broken, don't fix it kind of thing. Yeah. But these Gladiators, like they were all fantastic, like, and they had big shoes to fill, let's be honest, because the Gladiators were like mega celebrities at the time. Like they were the big celebrities of their day, weren't they?
Yep.
But I tell you what, that giant guy though, when he came out, I was like, wow, like that is a big man. Like you would not want to go up against him, would you? Like
I had to laugh at how the the referee suddenly turned Scottish when he shouted 3, 2, 1. I thought that was brilliant. He definitely was channeling his inner thing, wasn't it? It was like normal, like Gladiator, you go my first whistle, you go my second whistle. 3, 2.
It was what I mean. Like even down to that, even down to that. But it was the what was the first? What is it? What's the one that they do with the sticks?
Oh,
and
they're
help?
hitting each other with the
Oh
barbell.
yeah, yeah,
I can't remember
Yeah.
what it's called. But
Yeah.
that was like the first event, wasn't it? And I was
Yeah.
just like, if any of the gladiators get knocked off now,
yeah.
they're
That's
done.
it.
Like that's them done. Like, what's really exciting watching it now is who's the first gladiator that's going to get knocked down. Like, who is it that you know? But yeah, yeah, it was just good. It was just good.
The first one that got shown up on the show was that it was called Dynamite. That other woman just rang rings around it, didn't she? She couldn't catch her.
Oh, yeah.
She just kept sprinting around it.
Yeah. I got to throw up Ink Demon's comment. He said, "Why did Miles go back though?"
Oh yeah, he lost. Well, he didn't. He missed out on 5 points, didn't he?
Yeah, for
He dropped.
anyone that hasn't seen it, basically it's the hang tough one where they got to swing from one side to the other, and this Miles contender swang all the way over there, swang over the platform, and then went back for the guy. And it was like no, but yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I think it's going to be a regular on our show talking about it because it was very nostalgic.
Yeah. In the comments, Stephen about Nick Aldis. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, then yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was Nick Aldis, the wrestler. He was from Gladiators from the 2008 one, which was on Sky One.
Right.
He was a part of that one. When they did the relaunch and it didn't work.
Didn't take off.
Yeah, there were a couple of them that ended up on TNA, WWE, and doing the rounds as wrestlers for the UK. So
I think what's worked really well with this series, though, is that they've had a lot of the original gladiators doing the promo work for it beforehand. So they were appearing on like interviews and morning television and stuff like that, like talking about the old show in anticipation of this one. And it's scary to see how all the men look old and grey and all the women look pretty much the same. They look fresh.
When I went to that convention a few months back, and I'm sure it was Hunter, I think he was. And he was like a skinny old man on a stick. I'm like, whoa, what happened there?
Isn't he the one that ran off with Eureka Johnson?
I don't know.
One of them did. One of them, like, she had an affair with one of them, and now they're like married or something. Like, yeah, all the scandals. My mum and dad used to know Wolf. Like, they used to train at the same gym as Wolf before Gladiators. So I'd met him a couple of times. But yeah,
you've got to remember they're all literally what 30 minutes from my house right now.
Sorrell's on like episode 7.
I honestly, well, I was watching it. I honestly looked up Sheffield Arena. How much is a ticket?
Yeah,
like I want to go to see that in the flesh. That's funny.
You got to, surely if you can.
That'd be great.
As a 90s kid, yeah, it'd be fun to go see it live.
Yeah, if you get the opportunity, you got to.
What else was that was kind of it for entertainment news. There wasn't really massive amounts again. It's been a quiet week. It has been a really quiet week. We want to talk about the trailers though that we saw. There were some cool trailers dropped.
Yeah, let's talk about some trailers.
Yeah. I'm just getting the list up that I sent to you. So yeah, Abigail trailer came out today, the other day.
You know what? This one, out of the ones we're going to discuss, this one takes my top spot.
Yeah,
which I'm shocked about because I'm a massive Walking Dead fan. But this to me takes the top spot.
Yeah, it looks very cool. I like the concept of it was meant to be like a kidnap movie, and then suddenly she's a vampire ripping the crap out of them. So that obviously they've been put there. I don't think it's a thing because they're making in the sort of trailer they're kind of making out that they kidnapped her kind of thing. I think it was a setup that she wanted them there. Somebody wanted them there for her to attack them.
Yeah, I think that what's his name, Breaking Bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember. He's obviously sending them on this mission, isn't he? But I think he probably works for her, and it's the whole thing is just a setup. Like the whole thing is just basically a way of feeding her, and she says, doesn't she? I like to play with my food and stuff. Like I think that you're going to find out that my guess is the girl that talks to her, the one that kind of has that interaction with her, will be the survivor, and find out what the whole thing is and run away and all the rest of it. But
she's the girl from the new Scream movies.
Yeah.
She's not the one that's had all the controversy around her, is she?
That's her, yeah.
Okay, she won't be back for the sequel then, let's be honest. But it just looks really good. It's just I was watching it on my phone and my wife was like, what are you watching? I was like, basically Home Alone with vampires. Like it's like
that's a good
Home Alone with vampires.
Yeah, because I wondered if it's going to be a bit like like Interview with the Vampire, where she was meant she was the body of a kid, but it was she's like 300 years old in her head by the time the story goes on. I wonder if it's like that kind of situation, because the way she spoke were a bit too thingy. But this is actually based on Dracula's daughter, the Universal Monsters 1936 movie. It's a reimagining of it.
Oh,
And this film does actually fall under the Universal Classic Monsters banner, which is interesting because we've also had the set in the modern. We've had Invisible Man now, and we're getting Nosferatu. Again, they all fall under the Monsters banner. Just
cool.
two and two together. They've wanted a dark universe for years. The way to do it would be build it up without announcing it. Just build it up naturally.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they announce it, everyone's like, "Oh, find the links." So, but yeah, this is Dracula's daughter, technically. Just to put that out there.
Interesting.
that's really good. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd look earlier on IMDb. It's all listed up as Universal Monsters, and Abigail technically was the name of the girl from the original movie, and she ended up being the daughter of Dracula.
That'd be quite a good little twist at the end of it.
I think that would be the twist at the end. I've now just ruined for everyone. Yay!
But it just, I hope that they've not shown us all the best parts in the trailer. That's my only hope for it, because it's a very cool trailer. If people watching, if you haven't watched it already, Abigail full trailer, it's out on YouTube now. Definitely go and give it a watch, because it looks refreshing. I think for a vampire film, it looks very refreshing.
Yeah, it's a cool new take on it. And it's got Dan Stevens in it, Catherine Newton. It's got a really good cast to it. Giancarlo Esposito. Go see it. Looks good. I'm looking forward to that one. That comes out April 19th. So it's not long.
No.
So we had that one. What else do we get? A Walking Dead trailer for The Ones Who Live. That looks interesting.
Yeah. So this is basically Michonne and Rick Grimes' story. So I'm a huge Walking Dead.
Were they doing a Michonne TV series anyway? And she in like, or is that someone else? Negan and someone. Is that someone else? I haven't followed Walking Dead in ages.
No. So are you a Walking Dead fan, Brian?
I am, but I'm a bit jaded on the whole thing because they've done so many different shows now. It's just
yeah.
They're just like wringing what's left of it out. Like,
let me take the reins for a second, because I love Walking Dead. So Walking Dead, the comic book, the Walking Dead kind of anthology, if you like, the comic books, like, it's an incredible read. It's all black and white. It's a fantastic comic book to read, and it's just gruesome. It's kind of gritty, and the TV show kind of followed along quite well to a certain point. So, for example, no, I'm not even going to tell you. Go and read it, but there's certain things that happen in the TV show that don't happen in the comic book at all. And there's certain characters as well, like Daryl, for example, Daryl Dixon isn't a character in the comic book. He was kind of written for the TV show. So we had The Walking Dead, and that kind of essentially was what they were trying to do, a television adaptation of the comic book with their own kind of storylines, if you like. A spin-off of that, we had Fear the Walking Dead, which basically kind of took it back to ground zero, and then showed you a story of another bunch of survivors, which was quite cool, and it was a good kind of concept. And then that crossed over with the main show, and there were certain characters that kind of went across and all that stuff. And that series is now wrapped up after 7 series, I think it is. They then did another one called The World Beyond, which is about young people who are kind of born into the world of zombies, even though we don't call them zombies in that universe. And it kind of gives you another take on it. But again, there are kind of tentative links to the main storyline. And then all of a sudden, we've had 3 spin-off shows kind of drop because the main show came to a close. And then they dropped 3 spin-off shows, one of which is Daryl Dixon, which is him out in France and kind of doing his journey, which is interesting because he's not a character from the comic books. So everything that they write for it is kind of new and kind of canon, but new canon, if that makes sense. And that has various characters from his storyline cross into it. We've then had a Negan spin-off show where you've got Maggie and Negan, who obviously are kind of sworn enemies because of the whole thing that happened with Glenn. But then it's their story and where they're going. And now, of course, we've got Michonne and Rick Grimes, and it's kind of their story of them trying to reunite. But the all the other shows I could kind of get behind, but for me, this one annoyed me because Rick Grimes had that big kind of death scene where he kind of sacrificed himself for everyone else, and then there was a real kind of is he alive, is he not alive kind of link at the end of it. And now they're giving us a whole show to show you where he's been. And I personally would have liked them to have just left that alone, as in is he out there? What's he doing? And all the rest of it. But it's a huge universe, and a lot of people are kind of getting done with it now. Yeah, but I'm very much kind of like, you know what? Give me as much as you're going to make. If you're going to keep making it, keep it coming, because I do love it. And there we go, boys and girls. That is Walking Dead in under 2 minutes.
The comic, I agree with you, is absolutely fantastic. I've read it all as well. So good.
So fantastic. And then Diamond Select have obviously just announced their Rick Grimes and Michonne comic book grayscale figures, which look stunning and look like they're right out of the page of comic book. So yeah, I'm going to be all over those when they're available. But it is a good comic. It is a good comic. But yeah.
Yeah, next up, the next trailer that we kind of got was Lisa Frankenstein. They gave us a teaser a while back, but this was like the first proper full trailer. Yeah, what did you make of that one?
I liked it. I hate to say that I did, but I kind of liked it. It reminded me of that kind of what was that show? It was what?
It's a rom-com. It's another romantic zombie comedy. Rom-com.
Yeah. And it had the vibes of that Totally Killer kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
again, another Catherine Newton movie. She's like Queen of Hollywood right now. She's getting around. She's in Abigail. She's in this. She's been doing a lot of horror stuff now.
Yeah, but no, it looked fun. It did look fun. And to start with, when the trailer starts off and you kind of see this weird kind of love story, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a bit rubbish. And you know, they're tentatively kind of hanging on to the Frankenstein idea because she loves a zombie or whatever. But then obviously you start seeing what happens, and I'm like, okay, this it looks like it's going to be fun. Like, I'll definitely see it, 100%.
Yeah, and obviously it's the first movie appearance for Cole Sprouse without his brother.
Is it?
It's the Sprouse twins. They were twins, weren't they? Because they played Ben in Friends. That's how old we are now. He played Ben in Friends because they were identical twins. So the idea was in Friends they could only have the kid on set for so long, so they had two to swap between, the identical. And then obviously they went on to become Disney stars, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And then they kind of disappeared from Hollywood when they finished with that. They kind of made the millions and vanished. Don't blame them. But yeah, he's back. It's his first kind of like reappearance in Hollywood.
Is he Zack or Cody?
It's Cody.
Is it Cody?
Cody. Yeah, it's Cody. And like I say, it's Catherine Newton, Cole Sprouse, and they're the only names I really recognise from it. But yeah, it looks decent. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. Yeah, watch it.
It reminds me it reminded me of like Beetlejuice, like that kind of gothic looking, but like with colourful.
There was another like zombie film similar to this a few years back. I can't think of the name of it.
Warm Bodies.
Nicholas Hoult was in it.
Yeah, Warm Bodies with Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. I couldn't think of
it. And then Disney decided to make a whole series of films about it called Zombies, and that is terrible.
You know what? I'm gonna defend this. I'm going to defend this. Zombies was good. Right? Zombies was good. It was.
I've got an 8-year-old daughter. I have to listen to the words "Do it like the zombies do" every day on repeat.
Listen, we love zombies in this house because I've got kids of just like the age is just perfect. But Zombies 1 I could handle, right? Zombies 2 when they introduced the werewolves I could handle. It was kind of okay. I was like, okay, you're dragging this out now. It's or whatever. Zombies 3, when it turns out that the girl from Zombies 1 is actually an alien, and there's now aliens in. I was like, no,
done. Over.
So I'm like, no, to the kids. I'm like, no, listen, Zombies 3 doesn't go on in this house, right? You can watch Zombies 1 and Zombies 2. Zombies 3 doesn't exist. So.
They should have kept with the monsters thing, and they should have gone for vampires. I thought they should have just gone like werewolves, vampires should be next. And going for aliens was just the most random thing on it.
Do you know what really frustrated me is that I think it's at the end of Zombies 3 when they kind of show the animation and they talk about like the acceptance of something or other, and they show vampires in that bit. There is vampires shown, isn't there? And I was like, that is there. Like somebody in the studio obviously went, let's do vampires. I went, no. Make them aliens with blue hair.
That the girl from the werewolves as well. She's from TikTok, isn't she? She's a TikToker.
Is she?
That's how
I
she
didn't
got
know
famous. Yeah, she was famous from TikTok.
that. Oh, I did not know that.
One of the first to transition from TikTok to live action.
Did not know that. There you go.
Right, what we got? The First Omen. The First Omen. That looked good. Although the Viking song over the top kind of, I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's the Viking song now, isn't it?
Hmm.
I can't use it for anything else other than that.
That was the for me. That was the bottom of the pile out of all the trailers that we watched.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. The Omen films never really past the first one. I never really got behind them. Like, I enjoyed the first one, but yeah. But what I did like about the trailer is all the reversed elements of it. That was very clever, and
cool.
It kept me engaged, seeing everything go backwards.
The song was in reverse as well.
Yeah.
It was recognizable. It was very recognizable as to what it was, but it was all in reverse, which is kind of cool.
To start with, I thought I was watching a dodgy link, but then I realized that was how they'd stylized it, and I was like, okay, this is, I can get behind this.
Yeah, whilst they're calling it an Omen movie, it does seem to be looking at more of an Exorcist type movie, doesn't it? It seems more of an Exorcist movie.
Yeah.
Kind of in its own genre at this point, like they're all very similar.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. That was all the trailers this week.
Yeah, that's all right. It's not bad. Not bad.
We did all for you, Damien.
I'm tentatively kind of counting down the days for a Deadpool trailer and a Venom 3 trailer.
Yeah, they did that thing, didn't they? Where was that? Where they showed off all the logos? That was like a convention, wasn't it? Like cinema convention somewhere. And they showed off all the logos for all the movies, and I sent it to you, and we were saying that the Venom logo looks very plain, orange.
Venom with a 3 behind it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's the hiding that they might not want to announce what it is going to be, because like it was, Venom 2 was Carnage, obviously, and it had Carnage in the title. What Venom 3 might be something else. He might have another name attached to it. They're not released yet to give us any ideas. I
don't know where they're going to go with it. That's the only problem. And I don't want them to. I like the Sony Venom kind of films. I quite like them. They're not comic book accurate completely, but there's a lot of kind of
what if proper reaching. But I look. There's Brian knows from our old podcast. I love to reach. So. What if this film is actually based on the symbiote that's in the MCU? What if Venom 3... Yeah, and this is the Venom kind of multiverse movie. And they're going to show bits of the new Brock, who might end up going up against Tom Hardy at some point.
Well, he kind of alluded to being part of like a hive mind, didn't he? At the end of the second one.
Yeah.
And that
could be... there you go. That's how they'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I liked the first one, but the second one was a big disappointment because I'm a massive Carnage fan, and I don't feel that it really did him justice at all. Like,
no, not really.
Fullest Figures said Venom 2 is awesome, wasn't it, Brian?
I'm always complaining about it. So,
I can see it now. That, like you just said about the hive mind, you can see the film opening with Tom Hardy, and he's like, "Wait, there's a piece of us missing," and it just cuts to the MCU, and you just see the thing crawling.
I would like to hope that Venom 3 gives us a bit more of that story. Like, not necessarily, we don't even need to see where it ends up or something like that, but just something that kind of continues from that. I don't want that to just be left completely to Marvel, but I think it will be. But I don't know, just for me, it was kind of like the first one covered Life Foundation, which is obviously a huge part of the Venom storyline. The second one covered the like the introduction of Carnage and Shriek and all the rest of it. Like there's a lot of iconic Venom storylines, but a majority of those do involve Spider-Man or other Marvel characters. So there isn't a huge amount that I can kind of think of where they're going to go with it. if that makes sense.
Didn't,
Stephen in the chat though has said something really interesting about Venom 3 continuing the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man story. Now that would be cool. That would be cool, and it would be a money maker for Sony. Like, let's be honest.
They could very easily do it because obviously so far Eddie Brock's been in he's been in California, hasn't he, in this one? So I mean, he could easily travel to New York and then bump into Spider-Man, like very easily.
And that would be a way for Sony to give us that amazing Spider-Man 3 that everyone wants. Give us more Andrew Garfield that now everybody wants, even though I still hold true to the fact that when I liked it, everyone said that it was shit. And I was like, no, I really like it. He's really cool. And it would give us a story. Like, and that's what I'm worried about, is that I'm worried that because like you say, Brian, like the Carnage film, I think there was such high expectations because it's Carnage at the end of the day. Like, and I think that they took that risk of trying to do something with it themselves that didn't pay off. Like, for me, even just the size was enough. Like the fact that Carnage was bigger instead of smaller just threw it for me straight away. But I enjoyed it. I didn't not enjoy it. But I don't know. They need something. They need to have something that makes this a good third film. Otherwise, it's just going to fall into that kind of cinematic trap of the third one just being not as good.
And didn't the cop as well at the end get fucking a symbiote goo as well? So they were saying like he could become toxin as well, but that's then just doing another symbiote. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, toxin would be cool, but then they're just repeating what they've done because the first one was Venom against Blue Venom, really. Like, let's be honest.
Right.
The second one was Venom against Red Venom. Like, it's for your kind of standard Joe Blogs that's just going in and watching it. It's like, okay, we've seen him go up against this Venom. Now we've seen him go up against a Red Venom. Now we've seen him go up against the Red and Black Venom. Like, it's just, I mean, Anti-Venom could be a good storyline, but then it's so. How would you get from X to Y? Like, I don't know.
They would just skip the X and go straight to Y. No one's doing it.
I think Stephen just hit the nail on the head. I think if they did a Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Venom, that would be very cool.
Well, it's interesting because in the casting, I'm going to ruin his name. Chiwetel Mordo. Mordo from Marvel. I can't say his name.
That is a soundbite from this episode.
But yeah, he's in. Yeah, he's in the film. It doesn't say who he's playing, but he's in the movie. And then Juno Temple's going to be in the film as well. They're the only two cast members they've announced.
Who's Temple?
She was the kid that was in the Maleficent movies, and she were in the Three Musketeers remake. And she's kind of grown up in Hollywood. She was a young actress that's grown up. She's about 18, 19 now.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't. I've been racking my brain through Venom because I was a big fan of the Venom comics and the Carnage comics. I mean, undoubtedly, Maximum Carnage is by far the best storyline, but they're not going to be able to do that because of all the characters that are involved in it. Even like characters we haven't seen, well, we have seen actually, Cloak and Dagger, because they had a TV show, didn't they? But characters like Cloak and Dagger, but then characters that we're very familiar with, like Captain America, shows up in it. Do you know what I mean? And so they're never going to be able to do that. That's going to be like, if they were to do that, it would be like an Endgame, Infinity War level kind of crossover of all these different characters that they've now established. But yeah, I can't think where it's going to go, right? And it frustrates me.
A portal opens and Deadpool pops his head in.
Well, they touched on it, didn't they, in the Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse, because Spot came out in what's her name shop, the lady's shop.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice little touch. But I mean, Sony have kind of showed us that they can do that with the kind of crossovers they did with that animation. I don't know. Yeah, speaking of which, though, do you know that there's talk about a live action version of the Spider-Verse films?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, with the voice actors who play the voices, whether they're going to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Jake Johnson, is it from
Yeah.
New Girl, who plays Peter B. Parker, has said that he would do it if the writers directors that do the animations would be on board. But yeah, there's kind of discussion and kind of things floating around that might be something that happens, which I kind of hope they do, but they don't. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
It'd be weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean,
Venom,
the last thing we need is a live action Nicolas Cage Spider-Man noir. That's the last thing we need, isn't it? Like,
is that the last thing, or is that?
no. There's
Come
a
on.
part of me that's like that could be truly amazing. On the other hand, I'm like, no, it's not. That's really bad. Nicolas
the thing
Cage's
is-
face as Spider-Man.
No, but you wouldn't see his face because he's Spider-Man noir, so he would keep his mask on and stuff. So you could
You're
have-
telling me that Nicolas Cage would not show his face for a whole movie? You're wrong.
No, but he would just voice it. So you would have you'd have like the tall, thin kind of body frame of him, and just have him voiced by Nicolas Cage. Job done. But my my thing is that Venom 3 and Deadpool 3. No, Deadpool 3 and Venom 3
Yeah.
are both due out this year, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, we're now in January. When are we going to get these trailers? That's
any time now.
Especially Deadpool.
I'm trying to think what's the next
one
big.
next month as well, isn't it? The Madam Web one as well.
Yeah. See, Madam Web, I think looks brilliant. I think it.
Yeah.
I like.
Looks like.
I like what they're doing with it. I don't know if it's going to have enough legs to kind of work, but I do like what they're doing with it.
All these properties, like they just depend on having Spider-Man. They just don't have Spider-Man at the moment, so
Yeah.
I think that's where they fall down, unfortunately.
Well, Venom 3 comes out in November, so they've got plenty of time yet to drop a trailer.
Yeah. Hang on 2 seconds. Just checking something.
Because Deadpool 3 is not this year, isn't it, as well? That is officially this year now. I know it got delayed a lot. They're saying, yeah, so I think we'll get a trailer for Deadpool first.
Yeah, I think we will. I'm just trying to find the date. What's the
It was
actual
originally meant to be early April, and they pushed it back a month. So
That's what I'm looking up now, because I'm sure
Which one, sorry?
I'm sure I saw a date.
For which one?
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3, July.
July, yeah, 26th of
26th
July.
of July. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at what? What is that? 6 months? 5 months?
5 months, yeah. So
you would think that they would start the ball
That
rolling
film-
with the marketing.
that film doesn't need it though. This is the beauty of Deadpool. We all know and love it. They would if they didn't even drop a single trailer. If they just dropped a thing with Ryan Reynolds going, "Go see Deadpool 3 in cinemas," you would go see it.
Yeah,
because it's Deadpool. It sells.
Yeah. I mean, it's sold on what they've done already. Do you know what I mean? The marketing they've done already it's sold already.
We were all sold as fans the moment we just saw that stupid scene of Hugh Jackman walking up the stairs and going, "Hey, do you want to make a movie?" Yeah, sure. That everyone was sold on that. Yeah,
if that was the trailer alone, that would have sold. But then obviously we've had a load of internet leaks. But then, are they leaks or are they just very clever drip feed, like drip fed
I
kind
think
of?
it's them doing it.
I would
Jonathan
hate
in the
to-
chat has said
Sorry, Rob.
Spider-Man 2099 would be an awesome film. I do agree, but I think Across the Spider-Verse have kind of tapped into that one now.
If they did 2099 and they kept him in it, because obviously it's Oscar Isaacs, and he kind of made that his own, didn't it? It even looks like him when he takes his mask off. So that would be cool to see him in live action as that character. I've got to admit, I think he could play it pretty well.
Yeah.
Although he's Moon Knight now, isn't he?
Said the Deadpool teaser is due out in February. Yeah. So there we go. February for a teaser.
Yeah, the characters that we know are 100% returning in this film are the ones that are definitely confirmed that are listed on IMDb and stuff. Is obviously Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, Hugh Jackman as Logan, Karen Sony as Dopinder, Yukio's back, and Vanessa's back. The rest after that is just hearsay.
Yeah, but we've all seen this. We've all seen the photos. We've all seen the photos. Electra's going to be there. Let's be honest. X-23's there. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
You know that there's going to be so many jokes there for Ryan Reynolds in there. Like, look, it's Jennifer Garner. Sorry, Alias. They're just throwing the word Alias there as well to get a 90s reference in.
Yeah,
Alias Electra. It's going to be so cheesy pie. But he's going to call him Batfleck. He's going to call him Batfleck instead of Daredevil, isn't he? Come on, he's going to call him Batfleck at least once.
Yeah, he's got.
They're going to drop that joke. Aren't you Batman?
Yeah, there's going to be so much. They push the boundaries with that. That is good. And Jonathan said as well about Craven. Craven's coming out as well, and the Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 trailer could be dropping in. I mean, this is a year for Sony, without a doubt. Like the MCU hasn't got a huge amount going on, and we've got a lot coming from Sony. They have the opportunity to kind of, because people are kind of getting a bit bored with the MCU. They're complaining a lot about the Disney Plus shows and that kind of stuff, but Sony have the opportunity now to kind of take the lead with their superhero genre.
They could either tank the genre all by themselves or save it.
What about Echo though? Have you watched any of Echo?
I've watched the first 2 episodes so far.
Watched it all.
Yeah, you
watched it all? Wow. Yeah, I'm 2 episodes deep. I'm enjoying it. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I love Vincent D'Onofrio and he's absolutely brilliant. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, it's nothing major, nothing. I'm probably not going to ever think about it again, like that kind of way, you know. But I enjoyed it as I was watching it, like so.
Yeah, I think it's true that everyone's saying it's definitely a prelude to what the new Daredevil is going to be, isn't it? There's definitely setting up the stage because obviously he's in it within the first 10 seconds of the program, isn't he? So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, Shelley's saying there, Echo is awesome. I've only watched the first 1.5 because I'm trying to spread it out a little bit. The fact that it's only 5 episodes long and it was all available on that first day, which I think was a good move, giving it to us all at once. But yeah, I'm just trying to spread it out a little bit just so that I can kind of take it in and enjoy it for what it is. Because I do think that this is a bit of a shift. I think that they have changed their direction a little bit. It definitely feels different to some of the other MCU Disney Plus shows. So I think that they're potentially going down that little bit more. I don't want to say gory. That's not the right word.
Yeah, it feels more like the Netflix shows than the previous Disney Plus shows.
Yeah,
definitely. Right.
Because the Netflix shows, apart from Iron Fist, were all really, really good. I did enjoy Iron Fist. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like,
yeah, it was watchable.
For it. Series 2 was a little bit meh, but I enjoyed it for what it was because it was part of a bigger universe. And yeah, I was disappointed that they didn't automatically kind of cross over into the MCU. It was almost like they were writing it off. But now that it's all kind of as much as confirmed that they are all canon in the MCU, it does make it a lot more interesting. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to the Daredevil series, but I hope there's more. Like, one thing that they've not done massively with Daredevil, even on the Netflix shows, was the lawyer side of things. I know that's the boring side for most people, but I like those comic books where it's like that side of him as well. So I hope we see a little bit more of that bit mixed in with the action and stuff, as well as, you know.
Well, they did it with She-Hulk, didn't they? That half of it was a courtroom drama kind of thing. And I know that people were very divided over whether they enjoyed She-Hulk or not, but it worked as a TV show, like being able to give us both sides of the character. Yeah, I'd like to see a bit more Daredevil in court.
Yeah, I like She-Hulk, not the ending.
Did you see the speculation where like the first 4 episodes were originally like supposed to be all in court? So like they went back and reshot and reset the whole thing.
Wow.
You didn't see Daredevil in costume until like episode 4 or 5. So 5 wanted it all changed.
That's the at least the costume for Daredevil as well at this stage is pretty accurate. Like they've kept it pretty similar, haven't they? Because we still haven't had an action figure, or at least in 6-inch form, of that yellow and red Daredevil. which everyone was really hyped up for when we saw the trailers, and then everyone quite quickly forgot about it after he slept with She-Hulk. Like, they were just like, we're not touching that yellow and red costume. It's ruined for me. You know, it was an odd show. It was, let's be honest, there was odd choices made, but
Yeah, it wasn't a great show.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it though. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
The whole Kevin the robot thing. Oh my god, why did they do that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't as good as I remember. But see,
you could say it was terrible.
it was awful. It was awful. It had the odd little bit in it that I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad that I've seen that. But apart from that, it was pretty bad.
I like some of the comedy elements, like when she went to the stupid retreat and stuff. I like some of the comedy bits in it. It was just I didn't like the whole. I know in the comic book she's very meta, she's like Deadpool, but I didn't like that whole she coming out the screen thing and tapping on your screen Disney Plus logo, and that felt very like Disney put that in. You know what I mean? That felt very. We're going to advertise Disney Plus in our own show.
Yeah.
It felt very forced.
What I did do this year though, as well, is I went back and rewatched Hawkeye again as like an MCU Christmas show, and it's that has like, you know, legs as such.
I like that. You know my feeling about that show anyway, just because there's just that one perfect episode.
What the two girls having
you need to get cuddly. You need cuddly.
Yeah,
just her doing the really dodgy Russian accent. I love that scene. It's my favorite thing on the planet. No,
but
we eat Rudolph.
I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it again as much as I did the first time, as much as I did the second time. It's like I really enjoy the Hawkeye kind of story, and I think it's probably because he's one of my favorite characters anyway. But I think what it's shown us is we have doing the street level stuff does work. Like, you can do the street level stuff, and like you look at shows like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Hawkeye and now Echo, like doing the kind of lower street level stuff does work, even to the extent of things like Moon Knight. To an extent, I know obviously it got big and sort of big monsters and stuff at the end, but I think it gives the potential for a Spider-Man street level film. Like, I don't think you need a big universe defying bad guy at the end. You could do a street level Spider-Man movie with Daredevil with Kingpin as like the bad guy or something like that.
Yeah, that would be class.
I just hope we get an introduction to Black Cat soon. I hope they use her as well. While we're in this era of like Deadpool being around, Spider-Man, Black Cat would be the next obvious choice for me, for them to like use as a character.
I'm so shocked that across 6, 7, 8 Spider-Man films have we had now? 8 Spider-Man films, 2 animated films, and a whole plethora of like MCU shows that we haven't met Black Cat yet.
Yeah,
that really frustrates me. Really annoys me, especially as she was so key to his story. Like, the whole Spider-Man with Black Cat and Peter with MJ kind of weird crossover.
We even had Morbius, and I mean, she's obviously she was with him for a long time in the comic books as well.
Yeah,
just
with him. Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they never like pushed her on.
Yeah,
they teased her, didn't they? She was there, but it wasn't
the same.
I just think that there's so much potential there. Like and I think, Jonathan said in the chat it could be a rights issue, but that could be a good Spider-Man 4. I think, especially now that everyone kind of has forgotten who he is, doing like a street level, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man film where the main or the secondary bad guy, if you like, is Black Cat, and then there's the whole kind of love story that develops from it, and then there's like a slightly bigger Kingpin-esque bad guy at the end. I think that would be a really enjoyable Spider-Man film.
Definitely.
Now, you would obviously there'd be a massive budget for special effects and stuff like that, but yeah, I think it would be a really good one. I think just a street level Spider-Man film be an awesome one. Did either of you did you watch Spider-Man Lotus, the fan film?
No.
Did you hear about
a lot of things about it now.
Did you hear about this, Sorrel?
Nope. I know of it. I've just not watched it or anything.
Do you know all the controversy that goes with it?
No.
Mate, Spider-Man Lotus, right? Let's talk Spider-Man Lotus just for a second, right? So the guy, it was a crowdfunded thing, and basically this kind of wannabe kind of director basically said, I can make the Spider-Man film that Spider-Man deserves. I need 20 grand and we'll make it. And they had some really, really good concept filming, like a little kind of special effects kind of reel and all that kind of stuff. And it looked really good. And people got behind it so much that it raised something like $200,000 like to make this film. And it was all systems go. And then there were like special effects, like teases of the special effects and like the final swing and all this kind of stuff. Costume looked good, and it was supposed to be like a real back to basics kind of Spider-Man, about Peter and all that kind of stuff. And then all this controversy came out, and then like the director ended up being a like a racist or something, like back in the day on Twitter. The guy playing Spider-Man, one of the co-writers of it, ended up being racist on Twitter as well. The guy that played Green Goblin ended up being a paedophile. Like, it was mental. Right, the film got made. The special effects crew like jumped off like 20 days into it or whatever because of all this controversy that was coming up. The director was like clapping back at all these comments and stuff. There was public apologies, all this kind of stuff. And the film got made. It's 2 hours long, 2 and a bit hours long. Wow. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free. And yeah, it's shit.
Well, I know what I'm doing with my day tomorrow.
It's worth watching, right? No, it's not worth watching. I'm glad I've seen it because of, like, before you watch it, watch there's so many people that have done like detailed videos about all the stuff I've talked about. So go and watch like one of these, what is Spider-Man Lotus videos. I think I'm gonna have to do a video myself, but it's kind of yesterday's news now. But yeah, there's so much behind it. And the first kind of 20 minutes of it, like there's like a street level fight where he goes up against like Shocker, and there's all this stuff about Green Goblin, and the costumes kind of look good but not good, but good still, if that makes sense. And then you're kind of like, yeah, this is cool, this is going to be a good film, I can kind of see where this is going. And then the next hour and 55 minutes is basically just Peter Parker and Harry Osborn and MJ and Gwen just sulking and just being in the mood of each other. And then Spider-Man goes and visits like a Make-A-Wish kid in hospital, and it's like, and you can see that the special effects people have dropped off because all of a sudden he's not swinging around, and they're really panning out the kind of the shots of New York and stuff like this. But it's just dire, and then it just ends, and you kind of like, what? Like, what is this? This is rubbish. This is someone's given 200 grand to some guy that doesn't know what he's doing and has produced some cack that, it's awful. But go and watch it, and we'll do a special on it one day, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it. That whole thing about the kid, that's straight out of the animated series. That's straight up stolen.
Oh yeah.
Because there's that whole thing about, because he reveals that his face to that girl because she's dying of cancer. Anyway, you don't as a kid, you don't realize that until you watch it back as an adult. That's well dark.
And then when he leaves, he swings out of the window, and it pans out, and you see the
hospital
outside, don't you? Yeah. Though it's straight out the thing. But it's just I can't remember if I'm remembering the animation now or Spider-Man Lotus, but I think he even reveals who he is to this kid. Yeah. I think he pretty much does it the same. But I'll tell you what, the costume looked quite cool. Like, it looked homemade, like it looked good, and the initial kind of special effects element were quite good. There's a couple of bits in it, like when he's fighting Shocker, and he kind of like he uses the guys as like a shield, like the other goons. He kind of pulls them in front of Shocker's waves, and I was kind of like, that's not really Spider-Man-esque. Like, he's not one to throw people under the bus like that. Like, that's but he's just not a likable Spider-Man either. Like, I didn't find him funny. I didn't find him quirky. It was just, and then they all just mood. They're all just in moods, like for no reason. Like literally, it's Thursday. Like, I want to talk to you. It's Thursday. Oh, I hate Thursdays. Oh, I hate you more.
Too realistic.
It's just, and then,
Oh
but then when
God, the costume for Green Goblin. Oh my God.
yeah,
I've seen better things at Spirit Halloween, people.
yeah, it's
Oh
you know,
my
and then when
God.
you know that it's a pedo inside it, like it, it makes it darker. Let's be honest. Like knowing
He's a well-known actor, though.
yeah, he got done for like grooming or something.
Shit, 'cause he's in Bad Neighbors, and he's been in loads of films. He's only got cameo roles in them, like, but still, he's been around. He's been in a few films.
Yeah, he got done for grooming or something along them lines. It was something quite dodgy, but it came out and yeah, but yeah, the rabbit hole that is Spider-Man Lotus. Go for it. It's,
Interesting.
yeah, it's quite a cool like. I don't know where the Spider-Man Lotus name came from.
Yeah, it's a weird name, Lotus.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's
Interesting.
yeah. Go jump down that rabbit hole, and we'll chat in a week when you've climbed out. It's yeah. I think I only watched it because we were away on holiday in Wales, and there was nothing on the telly, and I was like,
Free to watch.
I'm going to bed, and I went to bed and I watched it on my phone. I was like, wow. Would have rather have gone to bed, but hey ho.
Instant regret.
Yeah.
So, what community stuff have you got for this week?
Community stuff. You're going with me first, are you?
Yeah. You said you had something exciting, so do you want me to go first, and then you can reveal your exciting news at the end?
No. It's not that exciting. Come on, it's not overly exciting. It's me. Right. My first one. I'm going to give a shout out to. Is a guy called, you can probably look him up if you want to get a screenshot, but it's GLP3D. Very, very cool, very, very affordable 3D printer service. And he does some incredible signage, like absolutely incredible signage. So little things like this. But I mean, you look at that looks
It's awesome.
It literally looks like I've photoshopped it on the front of the screen, but that's like my X-Men one, for example. I've got loads, like absolutely loads. So, and they're sizable pieces. I mean, you can see I've got another Spider-Man one up there. I've got a Black Panther one up there. There's a Ghost Rider one up there in my, where am I going? Where's my finger going? Come on. Can't move it around. There you go. There's my Ghost Rider one. I've got one in front of Moon Knight down here as well. Have I got any more in view? No. I've got like, he's done me loads. I've got one for Invincible. I've got a Jacob's Toys one. Got a couple more in here as well, like my Masters of the Universe one to go with my Master stuff. Got like an Avengers one, which is cool. And then this is a cool one. This is going to go with my fan home Optimus Prime.
Oh, that's cool.
But they are really cool. Like they're 3D printed, they're multi-layered, and he's incredibly, his service is fantastic. Like he will turn them around very quickly, and sends you kind of like, you know, is this all right? Is that all right? And yeah, GLP 3D on Facebook. He's got his own group, and I think in total I've got maybe about 25 of his signs, like little signs and stuff, just because he's, you know, he's very cool. I've designed some myself, like I've done a Miles Morales one where I've used the Miles Morales logo and then created the text myself, and he's printed that out for me. But I've been getting signs off him for quite some time, but then since kind of getting more Hot Toys, I was like, you know what, I can actually have a sign that kind of goes with a figure. So like the Moon Knight one, for example, you can just about see it's big enough that it just kind of sits in front of the figure, and it just makes it just adds that little element to it. Let's see if I've got any others that are reachable. Done me a Venom one. Yeah, just I've got loads of them, which are really cool. But yeah, it's well worth having a look. And if you're looking for signage or you're looking for that kind of stuff, he doesn't just do signs. I've seen him do things like huge Lego Man prints and slime for the corner of your Xbox, and you know, everything like Christmas decorations he was doing as well. But he offers a really good service. He's an absolute top bloke, Gavin. And yeah, if you're looking for some kind of 3D print service, he's the guy to hit up. GLP 3D.
Cool. Nice.
Tell him that I sent you.
My first one is good old friend of the channel, Mr. Stevie. He's put out his Tall Toy Tales on YouTube, and he's in the middle of season 2 right now. And today he did an episode live streaming called "Why We Collect," and yeah, it's worth a watch. If you go back and watch it on repeat, it's well worth a watch. As you know, Mr. Stevie's from Hasbro, Steve Evans. He's been on the channel with us a few times now, and he's a really top bloke. I enjoy listening to him. He's got a wealth of knowledge about a whole range of toy stuff, and he's just fun to listen to, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. I really like Steve. And I think we should say, as we're giving his channel a shout, I mean, he's predominantly was on Instagram, and that's where he was doing a lot of his Instagram reels and all that kind of stuff. And he took this Tall Toy Tales over to the YouTube format so that he could create these episodes a bit longer. But he's been in the toy industry for years, but years and years, and obviously worked on a whole breadth of things in it for Hasbro, most notably Star Wars and Marvel. And yeah, the stuff that he knows, the stuff that he's seen, he's great to talk to and great to kind of listen to as well. So he's been on our show 3 times now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the little blurby thing that he did put, because it was really cool how he put it about what he's doing. I can't find it now. It'll be under his lives, won't it? Yeah, it was a live stream.
I'll tell you what.
Here we go.
I will say, I'll go on.
Yeah, no, go on. You're all right.
No, I was going to say, what I would say is that I did a behind the toys episode with him that kind of gives you a bit of a background on who he is and stuff. I mean, that was 2 years ago now, but that's still worth a watch. But then we've done 3 episodes with him so far. He's joined us for episodes, and we have something coming up where he's joining us for a 4th time, which is, you know, if you're a fan of Mr. Stevie, you're a fan of the show, there's a good thing coming. That's what I'm going to.
His little blurb that he put is 25 years in the toy industry, 35 years of collecting, and 50 years of playtime. Tall Toy Tales brings you my thoughts and insights on collecting, the industry, toy arts, and our own awesome fan community. So yeah, go check him out. It's Mr. Stevie 18 on YouTube.
Well, what I really like about his Instagram, his YouTube as well, is that yes, he's like, you know, he's a big player at Hasbro. He does a lot of stuff, but his personal collection is not. It's yes, he has Hasbro in there, but he's got DC, he's got Wombles, he's got Smurfs, he's got Peter Pan, like everything you can imagine. Like his collection really is. He's not just doing this big kind of I work for Hasbro, look at our stuff at all. It's very much this is him, this is his collection, this is his kind of stuff. And the Tall Toy Tales are really fun to watch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who's your second one, Jacob?
My second one, this one might go on for a little while because it's my exciting thing. So my second one, RDJ Custom Creations, another 3D custom guys. Actually met him for the first time when we were both at MCM this year. So we've been friends now for years, absolutely years and years, like with stuff where back in the day when I'd do lots of customs, he would help supply me with bits and pieces and whatnot. And we've kind of had that back and forth for years and years and years. But for the first time, we crossed paths at MCM. We both knew we were going to be there, and we said, oh, if we see each other, like, we'll give a shout. And it was that kind of weird, hey, and then like, you know, it's really cool. So it was really cool. But he is a brilliant sculptor, painter, artist, printer, all that kind of stuff. His paintwork is phenomenal. He did my custom head quite a few years ago. I'll put it this way, it's got a different hairstyle, a completely different hairstyle than what I have now. But there's 2 things that he's put out, or one thing that he's put out and another thing that he's doing for me. So one thing he put out was for the Green Goblin. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on the Hasbro Green Goblin, when you put the mask head on, you have that kind of awkward neck showing.
Yeah.
So, and he's put out a neck cover piece. So it's same color and the same design as the rest of the Goblin. And you basically pop the head off, put the neck cover piece on, and put the head back on, and you've essentially got your completed goblin suit because it's ugly from the back.
Yeah.
I mean, when on display, you're not going to notice it, but if you're doing any kind of action figure photography and you've got him at any kind of angle, you're going to see that neck piece. So to save you painting your figure or doing anything like that, you can pick up one of the neck pieces off of him. I haven't got one myself yet. I will get one, but you can pick one up and it makes your Green Goblin a little bit more accurate. But that's not the exciting bit. I told you I was going to drop it into every single episode. Let's talk about the Guyver, right?
Oh, God.
Let's talk about the Guyver, right? The Guyver, bio boosted armor, Guyver, Dark Hero, whichever one you want to talk about, right? I want a Guyver figure. That's the thing. I want a Guyver figure. And in an ideal world, I know that Figma do one, very expensive, 6-7 inches, and it's comic book based. Well, anime based, but there was 2 films, and the costume is very cool. And I was chatting to Ruben, like RDJ Custom Creations, and I was like, the Guyver, like thinking he's not going to know what I'm talking about, and literally straight away came back with, I've got this mask printed, but I haven't got anything to do with it yet. Like, is this what you're talking about? And I was like, there was that. I was like, yes, that is it. Is that 1/6 scale or is it 1/12 scale? So he is doing me a 1/6 scale Guyver head. So I have the mask. Right? It's done. In the post, I have the body, I have the sculpting stuff and all the rest of it. So I'm going to make my own Guyver Dark Hero bio boosted armor, Hot Toys-esque 1/6 scale figure using RDJ Custom Creations head sculpt. So I'm very excited. So yeah, it was one of them ones where I was like, you know what, if anyone's going to have it, if anyone's going to be able to do it, RDJ will. And he did not disappoint at all. So I'm very excited. So that should be with me maybe before next week's episode, maybe the week after, but I should definitely have it. And he's going to send me over a couple of other things as well. So Toby head and Andrew head for my Hot Toys. So
That is cool.
That is awesome, man. For play.
And he's one of them ones that, there's a lot of people out there that do painting and do sculpting and stuff, but that offer the unpainted and painted version of stuff. And he's one of those ones that if you request a painted version, you're going to get quality. And that's not to take away from anyone else that's out there doing it. There are some really, really talented painters out there, but I have never ever been disappointed with anything that's come from RDJ. So 100% recommend. So that's 2 printers, sculptors. If you're looking for somebody to kind of enhance your collection, go and look both of them up. As I said, GLP 3D is definitely on Facebook. RDJ Custom Creations is over on Instagram.
Cool. My number two is I want to point out this piece of lovely toy artwork. This is by G Shaw, aka Tora Nerd, and he got chosen as one of the toy picks for this week on Instagram. And he basically used the body of the Jacob Marley figure and then put the Super 7 head on it. And he's very much recreated the Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Nice.
It's from Disneyland, basically. It's that's the first pirate you see as you go through the ride. Saying that there's the whole Dead Man Tells No Tales. So he's managed to recreate it. So, I mean, I think that's brilliant.
That's so cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, as a big Disney nerd, I saw that and I was like, that is amazing. Because the body just matches so well.
Yeah, no, massively. That's really good. That is really good. Do you know him personally, or did it just pop up?
No, it just popped up and I was interested in showing off. Because I like I say, as you know, I'm a big Disney fan, especially the parks. I'm a big Disney nerd. And anything where someone's recreated something from like Pirates or the Haunted Mansion, I'm all over it.
Yeah, massively. What about yourself, Brian? Anyone that you want to give a shout out to in the community this week?
A friend of mine, you probably saw him in the chat there, and I believe you 2 guys will be meeting him at Con in Bolton soon. Is Fuller's Figures.
Fuller's Figures, yes. He actually dropped out a little bit earlier, but yes, Fuller's Figures. Tell us about him.
He does mostly G.I. Joe stuff, reviews and things, and his Instagram is absolutely fantastic. He does he takes his figures to the beach and wherever he goes and takes pictures with them. Definitely worth a follow on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. And I'm sure when you meet him yourselves, you'll see he's a lovely guy as well. So
Yeah, he's gonna be joining us at the Collectors Con, Jacob. He's one of the panelists.
Yes. No, I know.
Yeah, Full of Figures will be one of the people that are going to be joining me and Jacob in Bolton. I'm putting up the thing. There we go. Just to give it another little push.
Boom! There we are.
Yeah, there's going to be me, Jacob, Fuller's Figures, AJWF, Lightning Collector, and Thew Adams as well.
Yes. It's going to be a good panel. We're going to have to get Fuller's on the show one week. We had Lightning Collector 2021.
Yeah.
Last week. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, last week we had a... Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to. We're trying to get everybody on the show at some point before the convention, anyway. So yeah, we'll give Fuller's a shout next. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've got quite a busy schedule for next few weeks with guests. But we will. It's mental, isn't it? But we will definitely get him on at some point, which is another interesting one because the same as what we did with House of Geekery yesterday on the Geek Week Plus show. He collects DC Multiverse, which isn't something that me and you kind of go massively into. So it was great to have somebody that had that breadth of knowledge and stuff. Whereas, as you say, Fuller's Figures being a big G.I. Joe collector, we've touched on it. We've kind of dabbled, shall we say, but it's always good to have somebody that has a completely different kind of collecting habit than we do.
Yeah, and my final shout out for the week, I've got to give a little shout out to Scary Toys Setup. I've been following him for a little while. He's just literally passed his 100k and got his silver play button, and he only uploads shorts. He's a shorts guy.
Wow.
He does horror toys on shorts basically, and yeah, he's just passed his 100k just from doing shorts alone. He's never done a single live stream. He's only uploaded 2 other videos to his channel. Everything's a short.
Wow, just goes to show.
Shorts the way forward, guys. Shorts the way forward.
It's I must admit, having one of them would be like that'd be a cool thing. Maybe one day. But it's
50k away and counting.
You are counting down every one of them subscribers, aren't you? Just like
I want that stupid. Once I've got that stupid silver play button, I could be happy. I'm never going to get 1 million, but that silver one, if I can aim for that at least and have that on my wall, I'd be like, right, accomplished. Because annoyingly, my little brother, who's 8 years younger than me, has got a freaking doctorate, right? And I am like the oldest, and I'm the fucking black sheep. So I need a little stupid plaque put next to the fucking thing.
I see your doctorate, but here's my silver plaque.
That's what I mean. Like it's like mum was like, "Oh, we put it up on the wall." I'm like, and so I'm like, right, my play button's going right next to the fucking thing.
You just knock it out of the
Right
way.
over the fireplace.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping my screw warm. Boom. Yeah. No, it's cool. I like that YouTube do that. Like, I mean, I like that they have that kind of recognition and people get that. So yeah, it's cool. You're gonna get one.
Yeah.
But cool. I haven't got a third this week. No, I haven't actually got a third this week, so I'm going to leave it with my 2. Just it's been a very, very custom printed week for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a quiet week other than that, though, hasn't it? It's been really quiet. So hopefully, for next week, we might get a bit more news to talk about.
Yeah. No, but Brian, before we kind of round up, we got about 10-15 minutes before we finish up. Tell people a little bit, if there's anyone in the chat that aren't familiar with you, tell them what it is that you do, where they can find you, what kind of stuff you get up to.
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube, obviously. But no, you can find me on all the major social media things. It's all Brian's Action Figure Reviews, and you'll find me. I'm basically same as you guys, talk geek stuff, review action figures, and I'm not someone that goes out of their way to buy stuff just to review them. I only kind of buy stuff that I want myself, kind of thing. Review stuff I want myself. I mean, but yeah, we do. Myself and Stephen Tuberty, who was in the comments there, we do a live stream as well. I've been kind of sickish over the last month, so we haven't done it in a while. So I plan to get that going again. That's called the Culture Cast, and we do that. We do that on a Friday at 10 o'clock, and it's kind of over 18s kind of show. We kind of talk about all the same kind of things, but with a bit of a kind of
Good adult twist.
edge on it. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun, really. But other than that, I do the same as everyone else. Shorts, reviews, the whole lot. And that's me, I suppose.
Amazing. No, it is something that's cool about you because there are a lot of people out there that just kind of buy stuff to review. And same as me and Sorrell, we've always said that we've never kind of got stuff that we wouldn't want to put in our own collection. And I think that authenticity is, I don't want to say rare, but you don't see it as much anymore. Like there are a lot of people out there that are just picking stuff up to get reviews out and stuff. So it's cool to see an authentic kind of reviewer. What's your favorite thing at the moment? What's your top fig?
Top figure at the moment.
Putting you on the spot there.
I suppose something recent. These premium DNA Battletoads.
Oh, nice.
Battletoads. Ah.
I got two of them for Christmas, so
That's
I
cool.
still haven't gotten around to reviewing them. But they're awesome.
Oh,
They're my favorite thing.
Battletoads. That's just opened up a whole can of worms for me.
They're quite expensive actually as well. They've got some of the boss characters from the game as well, and they're like 150 quid. But they're about this size, like.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
I think I just want the three Battletoads.
yeah, I just want the other Battletoad as well.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, was there 3 or 4? But it was
three.
3, wasn't it? Yeah.
Rash and Pimple, yeah.
They crossed over with Double Dragon and all sorts, didn't they? There was such a weird little.
Double Dragon as well.
Man, Battletoads. Now you've opened up a whole can of worms for me. Yeah, Brian.
And you mentioned it a while ago as well. There's Streets of Rage figures out there too.
There is.
I'm googling it now, seeing how much I've been picking up for. That's so cool. That is so cool. Cool. Sorrell, before we finish up, anything that you want to bring to the table? Anything that we're missing? Anything that?
No.
I don't think there is. I think we can.
No, there's nothing. Literally, props and replicas is the people I always go to for my pre-orders and my figures. There's been not a lot drop in this week. I mean, the only thing that really dropped this week was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage comic figures.
Mm-hmm.
They look pretty cool, but that is a rabbit hole I am not going down.
Was that the box? No, that was
the box set. Yeah, the basically it's the box set with all 4 of them. It's basically the same figure 4 times.
Yeah,
with different accessories.
You know, I was tempted. I've seen a couple of people pick that up, and I'm not going to lie, I was tempted. I really was tempted to kind of put with my Turtles setup. But
I like the NECA stuff, but I'm sticking with Playmates. They've been doing it since the dawn of the thing, so I'm sticking with them. Playmates, where is that? Cheap toys.
Yeah, I just
don't need expensive ones.
Shall I tell you what the reason I didn't pull the handle on it, and I know that it's pull the trigger on it was because I know that they're fantastic figures and that they're going to look great. But my Turtles display is very static. It's kind of like they're going to be there, they're going to tick a box. And the NECA ones that I've got for me tick that box. They're the kind of the top shelf ones that I'll have. The rest of them are going to be fun ones. I've got like the D-forms from Diamond Select. I've got the Playmates retro ones. I've got the Mini Mates.
For you, you can pick up the Super Shredder so easily now, don't you? He's so cheap now.
Is he? Send me a link.
The ones that are really hard to get is Tokara and Razor. They're the two that are hard to get.
Yeah,
because I wanted them too, and I could not get them for the love of money.
But you know what? I'm not fussed about them because at the moment, but the reason I'm not the reason I'm not fussed is my Turtles collection is pretty static. It's different versions of the 4 Turtles. So I've got the NECA kind of movie Turtles that for me were the number 1 Turtles outside of the cartoon. I've got the D-form ones which tick the box for the cartoons. They're very cartoon looking, even though they're kind of static. They're very cartoon looking. Actually, ta-da! So I'm going to show you them now because I think I might have shown you already, but they tick the box for like the cartoon. Like there's not the eyes on them, but they're cool. You know, they're very cool. And I need to just kind of bite the bullet and take them out of the box, just because the boxes, they're so nice, and I don't want to take them out. But I'm not an inbox collector, so I do need to kind of break these bad boys out and put them on the display. So that ticks the comic book, that ticks the cartoon for me, and the NECA ones tick the movie for me. Comic book, I need to just kind of decide on one, and I did 200. What was it? £180 or whatever the box set was. I was kind of like, you know what? I don't need the comic book ones for that much when there's so many alternatives out there.
Yeah, and one thing to show you as well before we go, the whole shebang. Not a website I've used massively. Some people in the comments, like Bethany and stuff, have got me onto these. And one thing I did notice recently is they're going to be getting in. Where's it gone? Because it scrolls. They're going to be getting in. Not the mama. The dinosaur figures.
Ah, nice.
Because obviously they didn't come out here in the UK, so they are imported. They are slightly more expensive, but I think £50 I can deal with that.
Yeah,
I think I can accept that. That's a decent price, isn't it? I can accept that. And of course, they've got Bebop and Rocksteady, you know, the mutating ones. Yeah, I need those as well. So yeah, whole shebang. I've got some good import stock coming in for Turtles and that. So keep an eye on them as well.
Nice. Cool. Right, well, I think that brings episode 134 to an end.
It does.
That brings to us a close. Brian, thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's been fun having you here, man. It's always good. Like, we've got a whole list of people that are jumping on board over the next few weeks, so we're really pleased that we could get you on board and bring you on for one. I think that's about it. We haven't got any. I know we've got a plus episode this week.
We do. We've got a plus episode with Nerdzoic on
Tuesday we've got Nerdzoic returning to the show for
his third appearance.
I think it's his third.
It's his third appearance. He's done 2 with us, yeah. Because he did one. He did one when he was just a YouTuber. Then he did a second one when he just got his store. Because in the first one we did with him, he was talking about his day job at like an Amazon warehouse guy or something on it. So it was like a warehouse manager or something. And then in the second stream, it was all about because he was in his basement with all his.
It was just after he had the flood.
Yeah.
Yes. So this will be his third appearance.
This is his third appearance on the show.
Yeah, Nerdzoic, Big Nerdy, aka Matt. He is a lot of fun. So do tune in on Tuesday. I think we're 10:30 for that one.
We are 10:30 for that one. Yeah, 10:30.
And then back with episode 135 next Sunday, which at the moment looks like it might be a big old Diamond Select show.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about. Very, very excited about. So that's about it. So 2 lots of us next week, which is cool. So obviously wherever it is that you're watching, we do appreciate you. We will try our best to get to the comments. If you're watching us on Catch Up, Sorrell,
use the hashtag Catch Up Crew.
Hashtag Catch Up Crew. Thank you very much. Do check the links on the description of the videos. We'll put some Brian stuff on there as well, so you can go and check him out. Thank you very much for joining us, Brian. It's been a pleasure having you here this week. Thank you very much, everyone else. Until Tuesday, keep it geek.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Tune in next week for another live show. Until then, keep it geek. Stay up to date at www.geekweekinreview.co.uk.